guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much guys for coming back. My name is Cynthia. In today's video I'm going to be showing us how to make this beautiful dress. So I have 3 yards of crepe fabric here. We'll go ahead and fold that fabric into 2. I have my front and the back folded into 2. The one under is the front one, while this is the back one. I'll be cutting the front side open, hence the reason I added ½ inch here. Let's go ahead and place our measurement. This is my starting line. So the shoulder measurement is 16 divided by 2 is 8 inches. I'll add extra ½ inch for sewing allowance. Marking 8½ inches here. I will mark 3½ inches for the neck width. That's the wideness of the neck. The back depth is 1.5 inches and the front depth is 8 inches. I will connect the lines. So I'm not making it like a sharp V neckline. I'll make it like a U. I will go to the shoulder here, mark 1 inch for shoulder slope and connect it to the neckline. From the shoulder slope, I will place the armhole measurement. To get your armhole measurement, you divide your bust measurement by 6 plus 1.5 inches. So the one I'm using is 8 inches. I'll mark 8 inches here. I'll still place the shoulder measurement right on this 8 inches. So 8½ inches is the shoulder measurement. I will connect it up. And this is my chest line. I will place 1/4 of the bust measurement right on the chest line. 1/4 of the bust measurement is 10½ inches. I'm not adding sewing allowance to it because the fabric is very stretchy. I'm starting my measurement right from here. I'm not adding this ½ inch to it because I'll be stitching up this ½ inch. I will look for the midpoint of the armhole. The midpoint is 4 inches. Right on this 4 inches, I will come inside by ½ inch. So this is the front armhole and this is the back armhole. I will first connect the back armhole. I'll connect the front one. I'll place all the vertical measurements. From shoulder to waist is 17½ inches. From waist to hip is 9 inches. I will place 1/4 of the waist measurement right on the waistline and 1/4 of the hip measurement right on the hip line. 1/4 of the waist measurement is 8½ inches. You divide your waist measurement by 4. The hip measurement is 46 inches divided by 4 is 11½ inches. I'll mark 11½ inches right on the hip line. The dress for length is 52 inches. The first one is 39 inches. So I'll be using the remaining 30 inches for the lower part. So I have 39 inches here. So I will measure what I have here. I have 11½ inches right on the hip line here. So I will subtract 2 inches from this and place it here because I want this place a little bit tight. 11½ minus 2 is 9½ inches. Right on the length here, I'll mark 9½ inches. I'll go ahead and connect the lines from the chest to the waist, from the waist to the hip, and then bring it down. So connecting it from the chest to the waistline. From the waist, I'll bring it to the hip. And from the hip, I'll bring it to the length of the dress. So I will go ahead and cut it out. I'll cut out the back neckline. So this is the back. I will reconnect the front neckline. front neckline. And we cut out the front armhole. I will split the front part open. I'm cutting out the sleeve. My fabric is folded into two. The sleeve length is 25 inches and the lower part is 90 or 180 degree flare. So I will minus 5 inches from the sleeve length. The 5 inches is for the flare. The sleeve full length is 25 inches, minus 5 is 20 inches. So I will start from here. This is my starting line. So 20 inches plus 1 is sewing allowance, that is 21 inches. So right on the starting point here, I will mark 8.5 inches, that's the armhole measurement. I will add 1 inch for sewing allowance, that is 9.5 inches. So you measure where you want to join the flare. So for this, I have 8.5 inches. 8.5 inches divided by 2 is 4 1/4. I will add extra 1 inch for sewing allowance, that is 5 1/4. I'll mark 5 1/4 here. Connect it like so. So bring it to the length. We cut it out. I will cut out 2 of these. So we'll go ahead and cut out the flare. I'm cutting out the 2 flare together. This looks like 90 degree flare. I'll add up the 2 round sleeve and use it to cut out 180 degree flare. Half it into 2. The round sleeve is 8.5 inches times 2 is 17 inches. Since we're cutting out 180 degree flare, I will divide 17 inches by 3.14. 17 divided by 3.14 is 5.4. I'll just make it 5.5. So 5.5 is the radius. I will add the length of the sleeve. The length of the sleeve is 5 inches plus 1 is sewing allowance, that's 6 inches. That's 6 plus 5.5 is 11.5. I just want to know how many fabric I'll be cutting out. So I folded my fabric into 2. I will fold it again. It's folded into 4. We're cutting out 180 degree flare. So right from the tip here, I will measure 11.5 inches round. I'll mark out the radius. The radius is 5.5 inches. So right from the tip here, I'll measure 5.5 inches round. And 5.5 inches. I will cut it out. So this is 6 inches, that's the sleeve length plus sewing allowance. I will open it up and split this side open. Now I'm cutting out 2 sleeves. So we'll set this aside. We are done with the cutting for the upper part. So we'll go ahead and join the upper part. This is the front. I will hem the neckline. I'll use half inch to hem the neckline. I will hem it round. It's either you use a bias tape to hem it or you hem it like that. Remember, I added half inch to the front side. After hemming it, I will use the half inch to stitch up this center part here. I will hem it up to here and leave about 4 inches open. After I've done that, I will join the front and the back together. Lay them against each other, right side facing right side. I will use half inch to join the shoulders and use 1 inch to join the side. I'm done joining the front and the back together. So we go ahead and cut out the flare. We'll be cutting out the flare and this little gather here. The gather will be 3 or 4 inches while the flare is 13 inches. I will measure here around the bottom part here. I have 36 inches here. I'll be cutting out double flare. I want the lower part to drape very well. I'll divide the 36 inches by 2 because I will be cutting out 2 flare. 36 divided by 2 is 18 inches. I'll divide 18 inches by 6.28. That's the formula we use for full circle. 18 divided by 6.28 is 2.8. The length is 13 inches, so I will add the length to the radius. So I have 15.8. I will round it to 16 inches. I'll be cutting out 2 flares. So I'll go ahead and fold my fabric. I will fold the fabric into 2. I will fold it again. It's folded into 4. I will measure 16 inches round. 16 inches is the length, including the radius. So I will mark 16 inches round. This is 16 inches and the radius is 2.8. I will cut this out first before cutting out the radius because I'll be cutting out the two together. I have 2 here, so I'll match this to the first one. I want to cut the radius together. The radius is 2.8. From here I will mark 2.8. I would rather mark 3 inches, so I'll round it to 3 inches. We split one side open. You see the drape? I will split the side open also. I will join one side together. I will cut out the small gather. The lower part of the dress is 36 inches and I measure it round. So I will still use it to cut out the gather. I will times it by 3 or by 2.5 inches because I'll be using this for the gather. 36 times 2.5 is 90 inches. So this here is 90 inches and the length is 5 inches. I will use 1 inch to hem the lower part round. After hemming it, I'll be left with 4 inches. So I'll go ahead and hem it and gather it up to 36 inches. I'm done with the gather. I gather it up to 36 inches. That's the lower part of the dress. I've also joined the 2 flares together. Now we go ahead and then join the gather and the flare together. So I will just turn it like so. This is the flare. I will take the gather, place it like so. The wrong side of the gather is facing the right side of the flare. I will use half inch to join them together. I will also join the sleeve and the flare. This is the sleeve. Remember we cut out 90-degree flare for the sleeve. So we open it up, right side facing right side. I will use half inch to join them together and turn it to the wrong side, then use 1 inch to join the side. So guys, I finished attaching the gather in the flare. I've also joined the sleeve. Before I join this to the upper part, I will cut out some inches right from this lower part. This is the side that is open. This will go to the front side. I'm going to cut out some inches away from here. I'll match the two together, and from the bottom part I will go up by 2.5 inches. I will just connect it like so. I'll cut it from here. Dress. I will join this to the dress. This is the dress. This is the front side. This is the front slit. I will turn it like so. And use half inch to join this to the upper part. I will stitch it round. After I've done that, I will turn the dress to the wrong side. I will tuck the sleeve inside. This is the right side of the sleeve. Right side facing right side. I will use half inch to join them together. So guys, I finished attaching the sleeves and the flare. I added about 7 black buttons to the front midpoint here. If you like, you can leave it. This is optional. If you don't want to add button to yours, you can leave it like that. And this is the back. And that's it for today. Thank you so much guys for watching. Please like and share these videos. Subscribe to my channel if you're here for the first time. I'll see you guys in my next one. Love you. Bye.